Okay, we're at the Border Bar and Grill. We've just finished with Buddy Roemer's presentation. Governor, how do you think the reception went here?
It was well. I mean, I think people were interested. They asked great questions. I think there's a movement in the country. It started as Tea Party, and it's growing now. There were a lot of independents here. There were a lot of Republicans here, but everybody had a common allegiance to building a better country. That's what the Tea Party's about.
Now, I noticed quite a few people, I saw quite a few checks being made out for $100, and Tom Wesley, the former candidate for Massachusetts 2nd District, gave you one and made a challenge for other people to do it. That must have been encouraging.
That's where I finance my campaign. I don't take big checks. I've always limited the amount. I like to do the things that need to be done. And right now, Washington, D.C. is controlled by the special interest. My rules are no PAC money, no check over $100, and everything fully disclosed. Those are my rules, and we did very well tonight.
Now, by a coincidence, both you and I we have two things in common. We both have mothers in their 80s. Mine's going to be 87 this year.
Wow.
And we both left the Democratic Party the same year.
Did we?
Yes. And I was listening to your speech today, and it sounded like an old Democrat in the form that I used to support back when I was a Democrat. So,
when the Democratic Party stood for something. It doesn't matter. Here's what the Democratic Party stands for. It's the party of government and taxes.
Now, where do you think the party went wrong? What do you think made the change for the party?
It's hard to
that
say.
chased guys like us out.
A little bit at a time. Disrespect will do it. And the ideas went backward, not forward. The Democrats quit talking about small, effective government. They quit talking about a volunteer army, well-equipped. They quit talking about a fair tax code. They quit talking about public education and how to improve it. They quit talking about America competing. They quit talking about how trade was unfair. They became sloppy, bloated, fat, and it happened over time. It wasn't one leader. The current president is the worst that the party's had, but he's just more of the same. I mean, don't forget, Bill Clinton gave 3 million jobs away to Mexico. It's called NAFTA.
Now, I noticed you come here, you're here in Massachusetts. Obviously, the Massachusetts primary isn't going anywhere, but is it a strategy to make appearances in Massachusetts to liven up volunteers who can cross the border, volunteers that other Republicans haven't tapped, perhaps?
We're recruiting here. We're recruiting reputations, hardbacks, good minds, people that will help me on the weekends in New Hampshire where I'm getting known, people who will contribute small amounts of clean money, people who will talk to their friends. This is how a movement starts. A state line can't hold a movement. And my movement, when it crosses the line, is open to Massachusetts.
Now, there's a very crowded Republican field, and for myself, my biggest problem with the Republican field aren't that there are too many unacceptable candidates, but there are too many acceptable candidates. Are these type of forums and your $100 pledge the way to break through? Is it just going to be, I'm going to get one position at a time, just try and pass one person on the track, so to speak,
at a time? I'm not smart enough to know how it's going to play out. I've run a lot of races. It's been 20 years. I've been in private business. Very happy. But when I was an active politician, I was pretty good at it. Didn't win them all, but most of them I did. And I was to the end in every one of them. I'll be to the end in this one. And this could go lead one candidate at a time, or it could be a viral movement that'll move in 30 days. It's my thinking that's what's going to happen. That in the age of the internet, I'm the only guy talking about unfair trade and taking our jobs back. I'm the only guy talking about the fat hogs in Washington, D.C. taking our money. And if I remain the only guy talking about that, I will catch fire and in 30 days pass them all.
Now, you've mentioned that you've been in private business for 20 years. Is that a huge advantage right now where you can say, I've had my political career, but I've had my business career at a time of a bad economy?
I think I've got a little little bit of the right mix. I'm the only guy running who's been governor, and that's when you run an entire state, and congressman. I'm the only guy running who's been a private banker for 20 years growing jobs. I think we need that combination of business, local, state, and national government experience. I'm the only guy running that's got it. Now, that doesn't make me the man, but the things that I talk about, it allows me to have a plan to get them. Things like stopping unfair trade, things like shutting the money off from the special interest. That's what this race is about.
And if people do want to contribute that $100 maximum, where can they do that online, and what's your website in general for more of your information on your campaign?
The website is www.buddyroemer.com, and Buddy Roemer is BUDDYROEMER, Roemer, BuddyRoemer.com.
Governor Roemer, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.